This week on Big Red's Cooking, chocolate mousse. Hi, and welcome back to Big Red's Cooking. As always, I'm Big Red. So this week I'm going to do a dessert for you. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. It's only a few days away. And one of my favorite desserts, and it's a really simple one, is a chocolate mousse. This only has 3 ingredients. We're talking some chocolate, some whipped cream, and some eggs, and it is dead simple. Anybody can do this. You know, it's just taking your time, following those techniques. You know, so we're going to make a meringue, we're going to do some whipped cream, we're going to melt down some chocolate, and then we're just going to pull it all together. This is a really, really simple dessert that lends itself to a lot of different preparations. So you know what? As always, let's not bother having me stand here talk to you guys. Let's go on over to my workbench and we'll pick it up over there. So as I was saying, this is a really simple recipe. We're just going to use 3 ingredients. We got some chocolate, we got some whipping cream, we've got some eggs. So there's a really simple ratio on this. And it's going to be 1 part egg, 2 parts chocolate, and 4 parts heavy cream. So I'm actually going to be using 2 whole eggs. So I've got 4 ounces of chocolate here. So basically we're 2 ounces of chocolate for each egg we're using. And then we'll have 8 ounces of whipping cream, which we're going to whip up. So I'm going to start by putting my chocolate on the melt. And I just got this real basic little double boiler set up here. Now one thing I always suggest is, you know, anyone setting up a double boiler, we want to make sure that we have a pot that just fits our pot, or our bowl, I mean, that just sort of fits our pot. We don't want a lot of bowl sticking out over the side, because what I find can happen is that the heat's going to rise up from our burner. I've got gas, but whether you're using electric or anything like that, it can actually cause things to burn. So we want to just be able to melt that chocolate down. We don't want to get it too hot. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. Next, I'm actually going to start with my whipping cream. Now, what I've done is I've actually got a glass bowl put in the freezer, and I'm going to reach that right now. And I actually like to get my glass bowl nice and cold, because when we're dealing with whipped cream, the colder the better. We get a much better whipped cream as a result. Now with our eggs, I actually pulled my eggs out a little while ago, because to get a better foam, we actually want warmer eggs. And I've even put my beaters in the freezer. So I'm just going to pause here for a minute. Right now we're sort of at a bit of a soft peak stage. We're going to take this firm, but what we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't over whip our whipping cream. If we're not careful, actually, we can over whip it and turn it into butter, and that's definitely no good. We want a nice, fairly stiff whipped cream, but it should still look wet. You know, the minute it starts looking dry, well, then we've over whipped it. Okay, so I'm really happy with how that is right now. We can see, you know, it's not going anywhere. That's a nice stiff whipped cream, but it still looks wet. It's not looking dry. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the fridge to keep it cold while we work on the rest of our mousse. We're going to give these beaters a quick rinse, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on a meringue, and we definitely do not want any whipped cream left on our beaters. Meringue fats, and there's a lot of fat in whipped cream. Fat is the enemy of a good meringue. And of course, you know, if you've watched any of my videos before, you've heard me say CAYG, clean as you go. You know, kind of hard to get a bit of whipped cream without having a few splashes around. So I'm just going to give this a quick wipe right now. Alright, so let's have a quick look at our chocolate before we carry on. Oh yeah, and our chocolate is melted down nicely, so I'm just going to turn that off at this point. I don't want my chocolate to get over melted. Alright, so next thing we're going to do now is we're going to separate out our egg whites from our egg yolks. For the shell. So we, like I said, we want to make sure we have no egg yolk whatsoever down into our egg whites. If we end up with a little bit of egg white in with the egg yolk, not a big deal. But you cannot get a good meringue with any of that egg yolk in with your egg whites. You'll notice I'm not smacking my eggs on a sharp edge. I'm actually smacking them right against the board. I want to get nice clean breaks in my shells. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and we'll get our meringues mixed up. And again, just like with our whipped cream, what we're looking for is a fairly stiff. We want to go to that firm peak stage, or that stiff peak stage, but we want to be careful not to over whip. We don't want these looking dry. Alright, so there we go. Really nice sort of shiny look to them. You know, they're definitely, again, not going anywhere. We've got a nice dry meringue there. Or not dry, sorry. Still looks nice and wet, but it's a nice firm meringue. It's got a nice shine to it, so I know I haven't over whipped it. So next thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give these a little whisk up. And you know, we're not going to incorporate any air into our egg yolks. I just want to make it a little bit easier to work with. So now we've got all of our ingredients ready, and we can just sort of pull together our meringue at this point. So we've got our chocolate here that's nice and melted. And we can see nice and soft. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our egg yolks, and that's going to go down and get mixed through our chocolate. Now we've got to work somewhat fast here. We want to be able to do this while our chocolate is still smooth, and the advantage of mixing those egg yolks in is it tends to loosen up our chocolate a little bit, adding a little basically extra fat into it. So we're going to take this mixture and we're just going to put this right down into our meringue. So at this point now we've got to be a little bit more gentle. We want to go with more of a folding technique, because what makes mousse mousse is all the air that we've got incorporated. So we've got all that air into our meringue, and we don't want to lose that air. So we want to go for more of a folding sort of process to incorporate that chocolate and that egg white all together, while trying to maintain as much air as possible. Okay, so now that that's all incorporated, counter a little wipe here. Alright, so our egg whites and our chocolate are all fully incorporated here now. So at this point now we're just going to pour this right on down into our whipped cream. And we're going to use the exact same technique. We're going to fold this down into that whipped cream. And again, we don't want to deflate that whipped cream if we can avoid it. We want to keep that nice and light. we can see how nice and light this looks here. It's got a nice soft texture to it still. So let's have a little taste of this. So decadent. So I like to serve these in, a nice clear glass so we can actually see it. So there you go. So we're gonna pop these into the fridge and let them firm up, and we'll try them, tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon probably. So our mousse been in the fridge overnight. It's all set up there now. It's looking really good. I'm really happy with the texture. So we can see here from our video how nice that's holding up. Let's give it a little taste. So smooth and creamy. Really nice and light and airy as well, but it's got that real robust chocolate flavor to it. Just fantastic. So you can see there's so much you can do with this, right? You could grate a little bit of chocolate right over the top of it, a little bit of fruit coulis or something of that sort, a little bit of whipped cream, some chocolate sauce, and put it in a different glass if you want. Bowl, martini glasses work fantastic. Wine glasses work really nice for presentation. So it's a really simple dessert that you can make. We're just talking those 3 ingredients. So all you guys out there, not only the guys, the girls, all you people that want to impress your partner and do a really nice dessert for Valentine's, which is coming up, this is a great option. You can make it before, it takes the pressure off during that Valentine's meal because you can have it sitting in the fridge ready to go, and it's one less thing that you have to think about. So as always, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you learned a little bit something about it. Please go ahead and like and share these videos. I'm trying to get that subscription base growing. I'd love to be able to hit 100 subscribers, and it'd be a great Valentine's gift from me. So as always, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're eating some really good food, and I hope I'll see you back again soon. Bye for now.